Little bit of a dating rant. Any other women out there feel like at your age you are forced to choose between either settling for less than you deserve or remaining single like the rest of your life? I have dated literally every single type of guy that there is. And then when all of that failed for me, I found myself going, maybe what I need to do is just date one of the good guys. You know, the guys that you don't really have chemistry or connection with, the guys that you don't really fall for, the guys that you really don't find attractive, but they seem apparently nice and gentle and loving. I tried that guy.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Desert Cast. Today, guys, when I woke up, I just had a question through my mind, and it is, why are my viewers so attractive? But that question has no answer, so I started to ponder about something else, and it is, why do women over 30 keep increasing their standards? You will think that, hey, I'm 30, I'm not as attractive as before, I come with luggage, You will think that they will get that through their heads, but they, in fact, don't. So let's get started, guys, with today's episode of Dating Over 30, and let's hear this woman's concerns.
Little bit of a dating rant. Any other women out there feel like at your age you are forced to choose between either settling for less than you deserve or remaining single like the rest of your life? I have dated literally every single type of guy that there is.
Before we continue, guys, with the, half the city this woman's dated, I understand that. What bothers me about these women, guys, is that they don't know what they want. If a woman comes to me and tells me, I just want to be a beach, I just want to be the equivalent of a street worker, good for you, crush your life in whatever way you want. But what really bothers me is that they don't know what they want, right? And I mention that because recently I heard of a case of a woman that I know. It's like a third, the friend of a friend of a friend, something like this. But she got divorced because her husband, became addicted to drinks, let's call it that way. He started to drink a lot. He became, unstable to be around. And I understand that, it's not good. And they had a child, so I understand that. And I stand on the side of the woman, all right? There's problems in a marriage you cannot fix. You cannot fix the other problem. A lot of women, I understand, go through real problems. It's not just about the spark being gone. But you have to know what you want, all right? Look around, look at the options you have, and hey, if you don't like them, cut your losses and stay single. That's it. Just don't go around dating and whining all the time that there is no man up to my standards, Hey, if the guys that are around you, you're not attracted to them, all right, I wouldn't want to live the rest of my life waking up to a person that I'm not physically attracted to, all right? So if you don't want to do that, I understand it. I think that other guys understand it as well, but cut your losses, decide, do something. The problem, guys, in a lot of the cases stems from these women having too many expectations to begin with. We're not talking about them not willing to settle for a guy who is really just, overweight and has nothing going on for him. No, we're talking about these women dismissing a lot of actually good guys because they have just unreal expectations and are delusional. But what do you think about that? Now, let's get started with all the dates this woman has gone to.
I've had the guy that was just very chauvinistic and sexist, and he expected me to just roll out the red carpet and serve and submit at all times, regardless of how ridiculous his behaviors were, regardless of how mean he was, regardless of what he did. I was supposed to just always be that loving, submissive woman. Now, I'm old-fashioned. I'm all about a man leading his home. I'm all about women submitting, as long as that guy is leading with love and gentleness and kindness and the concern for his family as a unit. I've had the guy that was unfaithful, as I think most of us had. The guys that talked to other women behind your back. The guys that locked themselves behind closed bathroom doors for hours on end. The guys that physically cheated with other people. I've had that guy before, too. I've had the guy that was so toxic and abusive and demanding, manipulative. And no matter what he did, no matter how horrible it was, no matter how outrageous and grievous the offense, he was always the victim.
You know what's common between all these men? Tell me what's common, guys. What's common is they're all attractive, right? All these bad men she's mentioning, she went on with dates on dates with them because they were attractive.
I've had the mama's boy who could not make a single decision without his mother's approval. And then when all of that failed for me, I found myself going, maybe what I need to do is just date one of the good guys. You know, the guys that you don't really have chemistry or connection with, the guys you don't really fall for, the guys that you really don't find attractive, but they seem apparently nice and gentle and loving. I tried that guy because I thought maybe he will be the one to show me that not all guys are the same, when in fact he confirmed that most guys are exactly the same. He was very dishonest, had no motivation, didn't want to work or keep a job, expected me to do his parenting roles for him, expected me to do all of the things that his mother would have done for him growing up.
Okay, so then he's not a good guy. Notice the absurdity of what she's mentioning. She says, I've dated the bad boys, now I will date a good guy. Yet he was not a good guy. So what she really means to say, let me translate it for you. I've dated the attractive man, and then I decided to go for an unattractive man, which she labels as a good guy. It's really funny how these women think, because the way they separate men is attractive men and good guys, who are, essentially unattractive men. This is why she doesn't feel the chemistry with them. Magically, guys, magically, they never feel the spark and the energy and the vibrance and all of that with the unattractive man. Yet they always feel it with the attractive men, no matter how bad their personality is. What a coincidence, someone might point out. What I'm willing to say is, look, there are guys who are not that attractive, but what I want to say is that the average Joe, which is what these women call nice guys or unattractive men, is not really unattractive, all right? The average Joe, meaning the average male experience out there are a lot of guys that are attractive, not because I feel attracted to them, it's just I appreciate that they are not ugly, they're not horrible, they're not horrendous to look at. Yet these women, guys, again, they go for the top 5% of men, and they call these men attractive, and all the rest, okay, the 90% of men are unattractive to them. Even though there are a lot of tiers, there are men who you cannot look at, men who break the mirror because they're so ugly. There are men who are normal, there are men who are a little attractive, they have good things, good genes, etc. But these women, guys, again, it's like they only have two tiers. it's the top 5% of guys who make up the first tier, and then it's all the rest who make up the unattractive men. So again, if this guy, that the good guy, quote unquote, that she was dating, if he was a not a good person and not a good partner, just go for one of the 90% of men who is a good person and is not so attractive as the top 5% of guys. But she won't. She had this one experience where she decided to settle for one not top 5% of men, and he happened to not be a good guy, and you see, all men are the same. What a dumb narrative.
Up, if you get what I'm saying. I can't do that. I can't be someone's mother that I did not bring into this world or choose to be the mother of. I am not going to mother a grown man. I'm not going to remind a grown man how I deserve to be treated. I'm not going to remind a grown man to behave like a grown man. I'm not going to ever be that woman. I can't be her. I have been patient in relationships way longer than I should have, for the simple fact of trying to maintain a relationship, because what are the options that we have left? It's almost, I feel like we almost have to settle for the liar or the cheat or the abuser or the this, but that you can't find a really good quality guy. And my expectations aren't high to meet.
Yeah, sure, madam, sure. Guys, these women, unironically, would rather date a liar, a thief, someone who hates his family, than the average Joe. The average Joe on these women's tier list of men is at the bottom. They would rather date all the guys. They would even go for men who are unattractive, just so they can later make a TikTok saying how they tried, than date the average Joe. Because they just don't like stability. They don't like the boredom of a normal life, as they want to call it. It's boring for them. They just want to live in a fairy tale, right? They want life to be an endless upwards path of joy and butterflies and rainbows. They don't want the dullness, the grayness of just having a normal life, which I wouldn't categorize as something dull. You know, I'm not saying that the average Joe is boring. I'm just saying that this is how women view him, you know. And second off, madam, you're speaking about how a man has to be a real man and he has to lead with love and, you know, do all those things that traditional men do. Yet you are not a traditional woman, even though you proclaim to be, because traditional women have not dated half the city. All right, so you might as well start from there. If you want a traditional man, be traditional yourself.
At this point in life, the qualifications are he has to have a pulse, he must be honest, he must have integrity, he must be loyal. I'm not sure how much easier it can get.
I don't know, guys. Leave a like. All right, leave a like and subscribe if you have a pulse and you are loyal. All right, my channel will blow off. I have 50,000 subscribers tomorrow. All the men watching this video, or well, 99% of them, there may be some cheaters out there, 99% of the people watching this video have a pulse, except me, because I'm a 4,000-year-old mummy, and Taylor may be watching this because he's a vampire, and all of them are loyal, or most of them. Guys, it's just absurd. If these were the only requisites, it's like 90% of Earth's population will be a candidate for this woman, right? But of course, it's all a bunch of lies, all right? It's all just lies upon lies.
And yet men still seem to mess it up on a regular basis. And I look at these women out there who have the seemingly perfect households where they're always bragging on their husband and how he's such a great father to the children and how he does so many things for them. And it irritates me because a lot of these guys I know, and they're not good men. And I think to myself, that woman is either lying to herself, lying to everybody else, or she just is completely clueless. Regardless, I can't be her. I can't post.
Or maybe you are misguided. I know, sounds like jealous much, you know. All these happy families, damn it, they must all be lying, you know. All these couples that have been together for 20 years, the woman is surely lying. There's no way, it can't be, because I am single and it's impossible for me, so that must mean it must be impossible for every other woman on this planet. Well, I don't know, madam. A lot of women seem to be married and they have no problems and they don't need to divorce, right? A lot of women have married some decent guy they found who has a pulse and is loyal, you know. How does that work?
Honest, nice things about a person that aren't true. If it's not honest, I can't post it. I can't be the woman who builds a guy up and pretends that he's something that he's not. I can't be that girl. I've been that girl. I tried to believe the best out of a person so that he might grow into all of those wonderful things that I said about him. Didn't work. In fact, it only perpetuated our problems because I thought he was a good guy. He thought he was a great guy because I talked about him being a great guy. He wasn't a great guy. I've been that woman. I cannot do it. I look at these women who have picked and chosen for themselves men that have been married 4, 5, 6 times, that have children that they're not even allowed to be around, that they have children that they don't parent, they have children that they're not even involved in their lives. These men are cheaters. They've cheated on them during their dating and engagement and marriage. I've seen these women settle for these men as if they received some great blessing from God himself, and the guy is trash, complete trash. And so I'm curious. Any other women out there feel like you are forced right now to either choose between remaining single the rest of your life or settling in some way?
Yeah, guys, so apparently the narrative is, you know, Nampu has been trying to smile for so long, but he's finally out of it. Apparently, guys, you either stay single, or you have to settle with a user, cheater, you know, cheating with 6, 7 women at a time, beating the kids, you know, pulling your hair, pulling you through all the house. These are the 2 options, all right, according to this woman. There is no in between. It's her case of being single because she hasn't decided to settle, and all the rest of the women who have settled, they live with a users. How can you cope so much? And yes, there are men out there who are cheaters, and there are women who settle for cheaters, which is something that, of course, I will never advise. No matter your gender, age, or whatever, just don't be with a cheater. Leave him. My advice. But you know, regarding the other vast majority of people that are married and they don't cheat, how do they make it? You know, have you ever thought about that? Have you ever thought that it's not as black and white as you point it to be? You point it out to be. We have to go through so many mental gymnastics to cope with the fact that we are single. We have to say that every man on planet Earth is a cheater to prove why we are single, to sleep better at night. I don't know, madam. Again, just forget about the top 5% of guys. They're not for you. They're not for your liking. Try with that 95% of men, all right? Yes, some of them are bad, some of them are ugly, some of them are cheaters, but the rest is not. You know, last time I checked, I know. Maybe all guys on Earth really are cheaters and ugly. I don't know.
Because I feel like I'm always going to be single and that I'm never going to have a partner because I cannot tolerate things that I do not deserve. And I don't think anybody deserves it. It's not that I think so highly of myself that I feel like I deserve all these wonderful things. Honesty and integrity and loyalty are things that should just be the bare minimum of expectations in a relationship. And yet it is seemingly impossible to find even those things that I seek. I think anyone should have it. I'm not going to settle for something that's less than that. I don't think I should have to. But I'm starting to realize that if I'm going to be in a relationship, I have to. It's one or the other. It's like I be single or I settle. And I can't settle because of who I am as a woman. I know what I bring to the table. And it's not saying, oh, look at me, I'm so great. But I know what I bring to the table. Loyal to a fault. Loving and unconditionally, faithful and just kind and gentle and all of these things. And that's all I require back.
Notice how she spends all the time saying how, things sort of, well, I really don't expect that much, I'm really not that great, I'm just, good to be around, and I really don't require that much, it's just this, and, spending all the video trying to put herself in this light of, oh, look at me, I'm so humble, I just want real love, I'm not the best around, but guys, cut the crap, please. Okay, you're not fooling me. Now, here's something interesting. If I were, well, I think I am, but any person who is humble and considerate and loyal and is in it for love, okay, if you are this guy, the question then becomes, would you want a woman that has gone on so many dates, right? I don't know how many, but a lot. And of course, she has slept with them, right? I don't think she's been celibate for the last 10 years. She's been single. Would you want to marry that? Because I personally, guys, wouldn't. All right, like at this point, no matter how loving you are, I don't care. You've already been with so many people. You think we will, you assume we will think that you will still be loyal and have pair bonding abilities and view us as something more than an option and a retirement plan after you've been with so many men.
It's absent. It's like I can't find it. I find the men that want to receive that, but they don't want to reciprocate. I find the men that want to take, but they never want to give. I find the men that want to rule over and dictate and have me, but they don't deserve me. And I have a problem with that. I have a problem with people having things they don't deserve, and people being given gifts of women when they don't appreciate them or value them. I'm that woman. I can't settle. I can't do it. I'm just curious. Anybody else at the same place where I'm at, or am I fighting this battle by myself? Let me know. Are you guys finding good guys out there? Like, where are they?
This woman is a massive red flag, by the way. It's just the way she manipulates the conversation, the way she walks around certain words. Now, tell me this. Tell me one bad thing she mentioned about herself in this video, right? Leave me a comment down below. Did she mention one bad thing about herself? And then, second point, tell me one good thing you said about men. None at all, guys. She is perfect, according to her own narrative. She is flawless. And men, all men, are evil. Just the no good qualities, no redeeming qualities, just plain evil, cheating, abusive, liars, manipulators. And this is all men, mind you. Extremely dangerous person to be around. She's not yelling into the camera, doesn't look like a red flag. But this is a massive red flag for me.
Hey guys, so let's talk about another text that I think that there's a better option out there, and that's the WYD text. I think, and ladies, back me up on this, any woman over 30 is not going to want to get a WYD text, especially during the workday. WYD, I'm working. I work Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, like, that's what I'm doing. So I try not to be sarcastic, but it's kind of hard. But all that to say, there has to be a better alternative. So like, I'm thinking about you, or hey, just wanted to check in and let you know you're on my mind. Those types of things. If you don't quite know what to say, or you're not really wanting to start a conversation, but you're wanting to make sure that that person knows that you're thinking about them, just say it. I'm thinking about you. Hope you're having a great day. Those little check-ins are a lot better than the WYD.
Yeah, it sucks, you know, but these guys, these guys just couldn't care less. All right, and in a lot of the cases, it is because women couldn't care less about them when they were 20. We have yet another case of women over 30 just saying how it's so hard and guys don't care. Yet, I don't know, maybe when you were in your 20s, guys cared that you dismissed them, you know, or you left them in your DMs. Yet now you want the treatment that you had when you were 20. Interesting to think about. Guys, thank you for watching this episode. Leave me your thoughts down in the comments, and I'll be so happy to see you next time. Have a good day.